Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. I've had a 2-week hiatus, so it feels like I haven't done this in forever, so I know you guys are really anxious to hear what's going on in the city. First, let's just recap what's happened over the last couple of weeks. First, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. The Clippers won on Thanksgiving Day. I was very excited about that. I believe it was like 44-22 or something like that, 42-28. But it was a big win because I had made a bet with the mayor of Amesbury, and we won that bet. So I didn't have to go watch them play in the Super Bowl. But I was so proud of my Clippers. They were big underdogs going into that game, and they went over there to Amesbury, and they just dominated from beginning to end. So congrats to the Clippers. What else is going on? We lit the Christmas tree here in Newburyport. We had the Rotary Club put on the Santa Parade. The Chamber got our tree. We had a wonderful Sunday afternoon, great weather, huge crowd, and I was able to give Santa the key to the city. We were able to sing some Christmas carols with the Newburyport High School band, so that was a great day. This is such a fun time to be in Newburyport. There's so many different things going on. Today is Thursday. I want to wish Happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends. 8 crazy nights are coming up for Hanukkah, and so each night down at Market Square, they're going to light the candles on the menorah, so that's tonight at 5:30, but each of the next 8 nights they'll be down there at 5:30 to light those candles. We had invitation night start. So last week we had our first invitation night. Tomorrow night will be the second. That's the second of 3, and the following Friday will be the next one. Looks like the weather's going to be good. It's going to be cold, but even last week with it like spitting rain a little bit and being, it was actually really warm that day. There was a ton of people downtown, and it was so great to see our restaurants full and our shops full. And from all accounts, the first one was a big hit. So I hope you guys can find some time to shop local and go out for invitation night one of the next 2 Fridays. This Saturday, the Holiday House Tour is going on. This is a huge fundraiser for the Anna Jakes Hospital Aid Association. That starts down at the Senior Center. So if you want to get involved with that, it's Saturday down at the Senior Center. It starts there, and then you can go off and do your self-guided house tour in and around the Newburyport area, but that's always a really great event. What else is going on? Saturday and Sunday this weekend, the Newburyport Choral Society is doing their winter concert. They have a concert Saturday night at 7:30, and then they have one Sunday during the day at 2:30. And I am going to be showing up at that one, and I'm going to be introducing their new director, who I got to meet a few weeks ago. But I'm really excited to do that. Again, what a great atmosphere down at the Belleville Church for the holiday season. I think they do a little partnership with the Newburyport Children's Choir as well. But it should be a really very festive and fun event at the Belleville Church on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Okay, and then lastly, the last thing for the holidays I want to bring up that's coming up is on Friday, December 22nd, is when the fire department does their Santa parade, right? And this is when Santa starts at the fire department around 4 o'clock, and on the fire truck makes its way all around the city. So we're going to have some more information coming out next week about that, but the route and everything is already out there. So if you want to go to the Newburyport Fire Department Facebook page, you can see the streets, the order that they hit, and then you can see the day and the time and all those things. But that's coming up on Friday, December 22nd. That's always a fun night. I marched with them last year and walked the whole city. My feet were hurting for about 2 days, but I'm going to do it again this year with them and help them give out candy and see people on the parade route because it's a lot of fun. All right, what else is going on? So it's been 2 weeks, right? So we're winding down the year, right? We have one more city council meeting left, and we have one more school committee meeting left. City council meets on Monday night. Right now, this is their last meeting of the year, so they're just trying to wrap up some things, okay? So, I think they'll talk about the snow and ice plan a little bit. It is that time of year. We actually had a little bit of snowfall yesterday, which was really cool to see. So we don't know what kind of winter we have for us. Everyone's telling us it's going to be a bad one. We had a pretty mild winter last year. And I would say my first year in office, we had some pretty good storms right off the bat in January, right when I took office. So, I want to tell everyone we are ready. We're ready for snow emergencies. We're ready for snowfall. We're ready for the snow season. It is incredibly helpful for you to log on to the City of Newburyport website, go to the DPS page, and sign up to get alerts around snow emergencies. Anything regarding the DPS, water main breaks. You won't get inundated with emails or texts. You really can control what you sign up for. But I can't stress enough how important it is to know what's going on in the city when we do declare a snow emergency. And when we declare a snow emergency, that's when I flip on the blue lights. And, again, I'm going to do that earlier, right? We're supposed to do it 6 hours before, we're going to start enforcing it. I'm going to do it even earlier than that because I want to give everyone enough time to see the lights, get the information that we're pumping out through the website, through text messages to our alert system. I want to get the information out there as many ways as I can, but the best way to do it is to sign up for our email and our text alerts. And you can do that at cityofnewburyport.com. If you have trouble doing it, reach out to my office directly and we'll point you in the right direction. But you're going to do that through the Department of Public Services, all right? So I wanted to throw that out there. It makes it a lot easier moving forward. What else is going on? So there's been a lot of talk about parking again. I mean, parking had died down a little bit. It's the holiday season. There was a new policy that wasn't really talked about at the time that it was passed. And now it's starting to get reinforced pretty regularly, so we're hearing a lot about it from residents. It's called this anti-shuffling policy, and it's basically saying if you're parked on the street and it's only 2-hour parking there, and you know before 2 hours is up, you move to another spot on the same street, the parking clerks can give you a ticket. This was passed by the City Council back in June, and it was passed by a very close vote, 6-5. And so at the time, you know, again, I don't really agree in the policy. I understand what the parking department is trying to do. I think at the time I was like, let's see how it goes. So I am hearing all of your comments. I think it's something that I think the new council, when they take office in January, should take a look at again. But I just wanted you to know, that's why we put the press release out there, because I felt like no one really knew about this. And now all of a sudden people are getting tickets, and I don't think that's right. I think when we pass new things that are going to affect the habits of our residents, we got to make sure we get that information out there, which is why I put out the press release last week, just to alert people that this is actually a thing and it's something that the parking department is enforcing. So just keep an eye on that. I'm going to talk about it with City Council next year. That would go to the Public Safety Subcommittee of the City Council, and so we'll have to wait and see who gets on that in the new council, and we'll ask for them to re-examine this, because I'm not sure it's actually doing what we want it to do. Okay, so that's it on the parking shuffling policy. What else is going on? Tax rate ended up getting passed a few meetings ago. You know, that was a debate that the City Council had. You know, a lot of it, you know, assessments went up again throughout the city. Last year they went up 18%. This year they went up just about 14%. The City Council landed on the number that we originally proposed, to use free cash to try to defray the impact it would have on residents. And so, you know, the tax rate was set at $9.97. The impact, the average single-family house in Newburyport now is now over $930 million, which is incredible for someone who grew up here. And you know, the average impact is going to be $400+ for residents. So, and I know in tough times these are difficult for all sorts of residents. This year we didn't have as many different levers we could pull to help lessen that impact. But you know, for the last couple of years, we've known that we were going to be in this 2-year stretch that this could happen. And so, you know, looking ahead to next year, we don't think, because the real estate market has slowed down such, I don't think it's going to be the same thing next year. I think we're going to see more of a leveling out. So we'll keep an eye on that. But, you know, again, if you wanted to see how that City Council conversation went, you can go back and look at that meeting. But I thought they had a pretty good conversation. I mean, really, this year, you know, we didn't have a split tax rate to propose. We didn't think that was going to, you know, we looked at the numbers and it wouldn't have had the impact it would have had last year. So this year it was really just about how much free cash could we put at it where it would actually make a difference for residents. And that was the discussion they had on the City Council. So they went with the lesser number, which kind of gives us a little bit more flexibility to deal with whatever happens throughout the year in the city. And it was a good conversation, and I think we landed in a pretty good spot. So that's where we landed on the tax rate. The last big issue I want to talk about again, and I know I've talked about this for the last 6 Mayor's Corners, but it's Whittier. And it's coming down to crunch time for Whittier. So Monday night, we have a meeting, 6 o'clock here at City Hall with the superintendent of Whittier, Maureen Lynch, to talk about the project, talk about the impact it would have here on Newburyport, and just have our voices be heard and hopefully have some questions answered. Unfortunately, Whittier's been going along to all the different communities and having some of these sessions either with select boards or public sessions, and I think people are walking away with much more questions than answers. Pay attention to the newspaper. I do feel like they've been printing quite a bit of articles around this. You know, the long and short of it, they're proposing a $500 million school. That's how it should be referred as a $500 million school. Some of the communities have less than 20 kids that go there. We have 29 kids that go there out of, I think they have 1,200 kids altogether. We have 29 kids that go there, and right now the bill for us, if this school vote passes, would be $30 million. Over 30 years for the life of the loan, it would be over $60 million for Newburyport for 29 kids. Whittier is a credible school. I think vocational education is so important, which is why we're trying to bring some of these things to Newburyport High School. But right now, what's being asked of cities and towns is not realistic, and it's not feasible. So how do we move forward? Whittier School Committee has a very important vote next week, December 13th. I think I asked Ryan a couple weeks ago to have a graphic with the email addresses of our two school committee representatives. Their names are Brett Murphy and Donna Holliday, and I'll have Ryan flash their email addresses again. But email them. They are taking the vote on Wednesday, December 13th at Whittier at 6:30. They will vote on whether we'll have this district-wide vote for this school, okay? I think the majority of the districts right now, or cities and towns, are asking for a pause in this voting process. Once they're in the MSBA program, that's the Massachusetts School Building Authority program, they have 120 days to have this vote. So there seems to be no reason why we have it in January when a lot of people probably aren't going to get out and vote. And we could have it sometime in March or April before the 120 days are up. So that's what you need to do. You need to email them. They came to Brett Murphy and Donna Holliday came to our school committee meeting the other night. And I got to tell you, the biggest takeaway for me was how little they knew about the project. And they're going to take this very important vote on Wednesday. So that was very concerning. I hope some of these questions can be answered on Monday night. But, you know, I've said all along, I'm in favor of Whittier, and I do think something should happen there, whether it be a renovation or some sort of new building. But what they're asking right now, $500 million for a school, is just not feasible. You know, someone told me the other day, Gillette Stadium cost less to build 20 years ago than this new school would, which is just crazy. So please pay attention to that. It's such a big deal. All right, so I'm going to just finish on two more things. Lastly, it's the last city council meeting, last school committee meeting, next couple of weeks. I want to thank Christine Wallace and Bruce Vogel for their service on the city council, particularly Christine Wallace. She brings a lot of expertise. She was a great ward councilor for Ward 4. So thank you, Christine, for your service. And then Bruce Menon and Steve Cole, both serving over 20 years on the school committee, legends as far as school committees go. Thank you for your service. And thank you for being, knowing when it was probably time to move on. And we've got some great people that's going to jump in and try to fill those shoes. So again, thank you for your service. Thank you for all done for your schools. I hope you guys all have a happy holidays. And lastly, the last thing we're going to do, we're going to head over to the Congregation Church right now, Congregational Church, because we're going to talk about the Port Gingerbread Contest and Festival. So give us 1 minute. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. It's cold. We're in front of the Congregational Church, and we have a really fun event happening this weekend. It's the Port Gingerbread Festival, and with me I have Paul Harrington and Mary Doucette, and they're going to tell us a little bit about it, but I'm going to turn it over to Paul first because the Village of Newburyport is sponsoring this event.
So the Greater Newburyport Village is really pleased to be sponsoring this first ever Gingerbread Festival here in Newburyport. So be sure to come down here this weekend to the church and come in and see some of these masterpieces. Mary, why don't you tell them all about that?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having us on. The Port Gingerbread Festival is a contest and exhibition. The creators of imaginative gingerbread pieces will bring them in completed, and they will be on display in the church on Friday, that's tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. The hours do vary, so I suggest that you check the website, which is portgingerbreadfestival.org. You won't believe what you will see. These pieces have been created by individuals, families, groups of friends, youth groups, and businesses and nonprofit organizations. So we're very excited to see these arrive this afternoon. We hope you'll come down and join us.
All right, you heard it. Get down here and see it. We have so much going on here in Newburyport. Come on down here for the Port Gingerbread Festival, and I hope to see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.